not very common in this
Ask
business.
this guy. That's why they organize a lot of places, or try. People come to them because of the issues. So it does happen. I'm not saying, you know, if it's fair or not fair or whatever. I agree with you, we'd like to see it better. But until the dollars are there to get the merit increases.
Well, the dollars are there. Let's not kid ourselves. It's just a matter of whether the county wants to spend it on that or not.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point.
The money's there. Property values continue to go up. The county continues to take in money. The money's there. They may not have to. They may have to say, "Hey, we're not going to buy a couple, you know, old pieces of land on the beach side and build a parking lot on them for a year or two." But the money is in the budget. If they wanted to right-size this and get it where it needs to be, they could find the money.
But Brody, the problem is the sustainability of it. It's not paying for today, it's paying for it in 3 years. Because they have the money today, there's a sustainability.
But I understand where
What
you're at.
is the sustainability of us having to continue the turnover and constantly train people?
When you look over 15 years and we've turned over 400 plus deputies, what's the cost of training all those deputies and then training new deputies to replace them versus the cost of this?
I'd like to see your figures, that's for one thing, and a lot of that is retirement. You can't change retirement. And when they change drop, when they add a drop, that had a big impact on us and the school board.
You guys talk about the fact that we don't have the issues of the turnover. Can you tell me the last time the city of Deltona had full staffing? It might be on paper somewhere, but we're constantly having to fill vacant zones with deputies because of the turnover. Because
dozens of people short right now.
we move people around, or we take a guy and go fill this position over here. We'll fill that zone with overtime. That all has an effect. And it may be on paper we filled all our positions, but it's 8 months before we realize those out on the street. We're never full staffed. So this pipe dream that, oh no, we're on paper, we're full staff, it's just not there.
Well, but the reality of it, okay, just go back to the reality of it, is you have $47 billion to pay for all that stuff. Because of required legal reasons, we have people who can't work in a particular zone because they're on OJI, they're on an off-duty injury, they're on FMLA. You're right,
I'm talking about those. I'm talking about the people that just leave our agency and now we have a vacant zone.
No, most of our vacancies are due to people that we still have 3 out on military leave. So every time those people leave, we've got to fill their zone with overtime because we can't, the money, they're still getting income from us.
I get those. I'm not arguing about those. I understand that there's a certain level of people that we're going to have to carry a vacancy here or there. I'm talking about vacant positions where, yes, we've gone and hired the people, but it's 8 months before we see it. And by the time those people roll out, there's another 20 spots that are vacant. We never get our head above water. You know, that's you want to talk about that recurring cost? It's that recurring cost to train.
Well, we've had a lot, the vacancies that we've had, I can tell you this, the majority of them are through retirements, through deputies not making probation, and the majority of the departures are people leaving to go to get a job in the private sector, not the law enforcement sector. And I do understand that the pay is an issue. I got a question. I'm looking at your first year, since obviously, I mean, I want to focus on the first year here at $17.95. Is that are you looking to negotiate that first year in addition to a cost of living raise on top of that, or is that just the first year that you would be looking to come in at?
And what we're saying is this would be the plan where when a deputy starts with this agency, they make $17.95 an hour, and then year 2 they'd make $18.95 an hour and work their way up. If we have people that are below that rate, we're going to have to bring them up to that rate.
Right, but then on top of that dollar increase, almost consecutively, you would look to sit down to do wage negotiations for a cost of living raise on top of that, correct?
In future years, yes. That's how these plans typically work. And I've got countless examples of it. I mean, Flagler County Sheriff's Office, Brevard County Sheriff's Office, Orange County. I just looked at Orange County's on the way here. 1958 to start. And they can take their car home to Volusia County.
We have plenty of them that live in Deltona.
And they don't pay into the retirement. They're state retirement just like us. 1958 to start. In the end of the third year of Brevard's contract, they're going to be making $19.19 to start. Flagler starts out at more than us.
Well, what we don't know, I guess, is their whole package.
Would you like me to bring their contracts to you? I've got some of them.
Just put together their whole package, what they pay and everything. All their certs, what all their, you get provided, what their, cost of everything. And because some of it is, when you look at it, is it's a total comp package, not just an hourly. There's other things and benefits to look at. When you look at
I was
it.
actually
Some of it
kind
is
of-
where you want to live.
I was kind of blown away at Orange Counties where they actually, that 1958 is the base pay. They've got night shift differential, they've got this pay, they've got that. I mean, they're not starting at 1958. They're starting at well over probably $21, $22 an hour. I mean, it's.
Yeah, the property values they have, I mean.
Well, and that's why I'm trying to be realistic, Tom, is that you don't see me trying to start us at $19 or $20 an hour. But what I do think we should be is above the dog catcher in Deltona.
Who
I'll
makes
get your code enforcement officer.
Yes.
17,
So
12,
it's two, they're doing two jobs.
17, 12 an
They do
hour.
one job.
It's a 40-hour class, Tom, to.
And they work 40 hours a
job.
week.
And that's 4% over what our starting pay right now. So you're offering us.
You can always point to somebody that does something better. I mean, I understand that. You can always point to.
That's in the city, we provide law enforcement services
Uh,
that requires much more certifications than a dog catcher code enforcement.
I understand y'all said it was a dog catcher code enforcement officer, so they gotta be a code enforcement officer too. So that's not just one, they gotta have certification.
It's one job, they work 40 hours. It's not like they say, okay, you're gonna go out here. I'm a hostage negotiator, I know how to ride a motorcycle, I know how to do this. It's multiple
But
certifications.
you get different pays for that.
It's
No, I
multiple
mean-
certifications.
We do,
Are you really gonna sit here and try and suggest that the animal control / code enforcement
Has more
officer position
responsibilities than a
I'm just saying
has
they do
more
two different jobs.
responsibility?
And you know, they
than
may
a
not.
deputy sheriff?
Maybe
Sometimes we
we can
investigate
convince them to make it down,
burglaries
take
and
part of the payoff and
robberies
give them a
and stuff.
survey so you don't see it.
How many, because you know what, I would argue that we serve as code enforcement officers for the city of Deltona as well, because we're responsible for enforcing their municipal code. So if you want to add that in there, we do that same job for less money.
Maybe they're on to the next thing.
But anyway, I understand what you're saying, but right now the position is we offer a 3% wage increase for this fiscal year. And if you want to do a multi-year agreement, we maybe agree to guarantee a multi-year, and then if we give more to the general employees, we give you a me too. Yeah, but right now, that's all I have on that, and I will come back to the next meeting, because we're going to want to look at something on some of these other articles.
What about the other, the senior deputy program?
Well, no, right now, I think that's just a way to, that's just more money. It's just money, you know?
Money
But
that
you're
you,
lowering it, you're just lowering the standard to get,
no, we're making it the same standard as another public safety agency that already has that in place.
Well, you tell me if you take 3%, that would resolve it.
They get 5, why should we get 3?
Pardon?
They get 5 for the same.
I think so.
he's saying for the
Adjustment.
rate.
But anyway, I will, right now, ours is no on
But
that.
you just sat here a few minutes ago and said everybody's the same. All county employees are treated the same. Everybody's got the same mouths to feed, and yet, so we propose something that brings us in line with other county employees, and nope, just not going to do it.
Who's another county employee?
Volusia County Fire.
Volusia County Fire
Firefighters
Services.
Just what?
Senior firefighter,
Exact
5%, they have one class to take, basically. No discipline on their.
And senior
doesn't-
lieutenant, which is about comparable to what our sergeant is.
Well, that's another day, another time. Where we are now, we're not interested in changing that at this point in time, to do that. And,
Well,
but they don't have they don't have firefighter 1 and 2, so what they got is A, B, C, and D, and that's how they get some of that is theirs. So this is sort of.
We don't have
certainly
that
not,
anymore.
we don't have a deputy one. We have part-time reserve deputies.
Yeah, you do, but we don't use deputy 1
We actually
anymore.
don't use it, we do have.
When's the
Just
last
don't
time,
use them.
when's the last time anyone's been hired as a deputy one?
I know, but that was.
1988.
Exactly. but you.
Does the county allot positions for the deputy one?
So we do not, all of our positions are classified as reserve deputies that are not deputy twos, or sergeants or lieutenants.
So I think your classification thing.
But right now, ours is on our.
We just don't want to do it, that's pretty much it.
We're not interested in that right now.
Well, I guess we're pretty much done for today. We'll take this and go mull it about. And
I apologize for texting, but my brother's in the hospital. I'm trying to arrange for his picking him up. I didn't want y'all thinking anything. As a matter of fact, that was simply my brother's at the with a neck brace.
Okay. We'll get back with you some dates
I
and,
know, you're so.
Let's make a date now. Let's keep it going. You said you're gonna come back with some other
I'll go
stuff.
tomorrow because I gotta meet with, I get, I don't.
Let's do it, let's keep it going. Why are we going back and looking at, let's do calendars now. We need to keep, ongoing.
I can put it out there, but if I don't have your information, we can do that. I can always cancel if I don't have a date.
There
If
we
I
go.
don't give me information. But
You need to go talk to
I don't have a
Mr.
problem with that.
Dinneen.
I don't have a problem with that.
When do you say you're gonna meet with Mr. Dinneen?
I'm gonna try to meet with him tomorrow. I got something on there if he didn't cancel, but he hadn't been here. I'm trying to meet with him tomorrow to get some, things, but, that's gonna, let's see, what's some dates? What's some dates you got? We got the dates.
Next week, if you're gonna meet with him tomorrow,
Hmm?
next week,
That will give me time to put everything I gotta put together.
week after,
Huh?
week after.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let me, listen, I'll look at dates.
Next week is the first, October.
We had already blocked out October 10th as a possible
There you go.
makeup for this one.
Okay.
Columbus Day.
Hang on.
October 10th?
Let's see.
Was it Monday?
Let's keep it there.
Monday's not a good day.
Why is it, it's Columbus Day?
No, because
Celebrate that.
Friday, I'm in.
Oh, we don't do that in the south, we do that in the north.
Yeah.
State of Rhode Island, the last one,
Yeah.
they celebrate this, that's a state holiday.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, we do it right, north of Mason-Dixon.
Yeah, that's,
Columbus, that's
I'm
big
booked
day.
all day Friday, so I couldn't get anything done, be prepared for Monday. Let's see, let me go back, let me get my calendar here.
Cheryl, you have yours?
Okay, so